should be more because it's more convenient.
Yes.
I mean, people are lazy and people aren't patient. So when they see a line, they leave.
Right.
So we'll see.
I know. And they still, at least, especially in some of Wayne County, they're still not official. I mean, they still haven't even made complete declarations of who won yet. You figure by now you'd have 100% in. But I think some communities are not even opening the absentee ballot. They've not finished counting the absentee ballots. November is going to be a cluster. You know what? Not just the presidential race, but Senate races because of the absentee ballots. There's going to be a ton of mail-in ballots, and I understand.
How many accusations of it being rigged and fixed are there going to be?
Well, I know it's going to be ridiculous. Every one of those days where you just get up and just things don't happen correctly.
Yes, and I did have that today, but I will let you take the lead on this.
Yeah, I go downstairs ready to go, and I notice right outside the little office where there's carpet and wood. I said, oh, well, Rocky peed, so in the middle of the night. He's an old dog, and he still knows what to do. He just doesn't know how to tell us. I mean, I just aren't. Just tell me you have to go to the bathroom and we'll get up. Sometimes somebody will hear, moving around and we'll go and we'll take them out. Usually there's nothing to go there. We take them out around 10, 15, 10, 20 before we go up. So see that, and it's half on the wood, half on the carpet. So
How old's Rocky?
14. So he's old.
It's going to start changing. The routines are going to change.
I know. He's old. So I sop it up, and then I'm about to leave when I notice, I don't know why, I just looked at the living room, right next door, the den, whatever, and I just see globs and globs of poop all over. Because usually when they do poop in the house, for some reason, for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's no big deal. You take a paper towel, pick it up, boom, throw it, put it in the toilet, and flush it. Not the paper towel, that's stupid. But this was not solid. And it was wood, and I'm there mopping it up, and I may have, and I don't never know. Cindy has all these things for wood, when they pee, use this. So I went upstairs and I said, what do I use for non-solid poop? I'll do it.
Of course you will.
I know. I said, tell me, and I'll do it. So then I get here, and, so I was a little late. I texted, late by my standards. I said I'll be here by 5:35. I was here by around 5:30. And then when I get here, it's like, what was it, like 5:40, 5:45. Sitting here, getting stuff together. And you yell, where's your prep? I did it at 6 o'clock last night. And I guess once in a while I've dimwit. Forgot to hit send, or I thought I hit send and didn't realize it. Thankfully, they have, the drafts are still there, so I still got it.
Yeah. And that's one of the great innovations when we're talking about innovations earlier, that the drafts save. And
yes.
I mean, I did a paper back in college on a word processor. The power went out right as I was finishing, but I didn't have anything. I had to do the whole thing again.
Backup.
Yeah, it was the worst.
So what was your early start?
Mine is nothing like yours, but we are creatures of habit, and we have needs, and we get into routines. And one of mine is that I get up as late as I can. Since I've been doing the show on air, I've been waking up a little earlier and taking a shower. I usually shower at night, but it helps me get awake better, trying to create a new routine. But we got the coffee machine, and we always set the time. And so I got up, went downstairs, brushed my teeth, get in the shower, and then I come up to get my coffee to have to drive in, which is just a must for me.
Oh yeah, it was a long drive in.
And we forgot to set the time.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm not waiting for this. I'm going to be pushing it as it is to get here by 5:15. So I had a different start to the morning, but I did have a cup here, almost a full cup now. So I'm getting awake.
Oh, good.
I'm one of those. Some people have to just have it when they get up.
Some people do, yeah.
I do.
I don't, because I've only been drinking coffee for about 5-6 years. But early in the process, I do, like after the first break or the second break. By that time, I definitely need it. What's up, Heather?
Hi, you guys.
How
hey,
are
boys.
You?
I'm good.
The start of your broadcast day was screwed up, too.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what happened, but I'm here. I'm good.
Oh.
Nice to talk to you guys.
Did your dogs do anything last night?
No. There was no poop, no pee, and no, everything was good as far as I know.
Well, that's good. We will, as we will the rest of the week, your texts, your phone calls on the loss of our buddy Jamie Samuelson. How about Seth Meyers' little thing that he wrote in the Detroit News yesterday? That was
Pretty
really
cool.
cool. Very, very cool. So the telephone number for that is 248-539-9797. You talk about a rough start. I didn't sleep well last night. Maybe when you have less to do, you think about it more. I think that I was like lying in bed last night thinking a lot of stuff about Jamie. And like the last, since his passing, I've been up, crying and things like that. But I don't know that the energy of that was there, so I didn't have a problem falling asleep because it took so much out. Now, as the time goes on, I don't know. For me, it's a reflection that I think it's going to be tougher to sleep because you start thinking about different things.
Well, yeah, that. But in general, like when you start thinking and you lie down, you're in trouble, right there.
Yes.
When you start that, it's over. For me, I go to bed almost as late as I can, where I'm basically just like I'm going to fall
Right.
asleep immediately.
Yeah, I try to fall asleep with the TV on, and I usually do, but that wasn't the case. All right, coming up on the program, Wojo will join us around 9:35. It's Wednesdays with Wojo. Matthew Stafford, wife Kelly, she went after the NFL in a big-time way. Also, 7:35, we'll continue our series of the best numbers. The best number 15 in Detroit sports history. Coming up next is Heather with news.
Well, of course, we're going to have to talk about the tragedy that's going on in Beirut right now. And then I've also got a story that's so great, it can only come from Florida, of course.
Yes, 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, some work is coming up today along areas of Woodward. Both directions at 14 Mile, work crews will block the right lane from 9 to 3 and each day for the next couple of weeks. Also on Woodward, both directions at Big Beaver prepare for left and right lane closures during that time as well. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Amazon is hiring near you. Earn a competitive wage and start as soon as 7 days. No resume or experience required. Health and safety are a top priority with all of our roles and sites. Amazon is taking precautions in our buildings to keep people healthy. Go to amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
If you're looking for a career that is equally rewarding as it is challenging, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is a great place to work. FCA is looking to expand its skilled trades ranks and fill positions immediately. Current positions needed include industrial controls with experience in industrial troubleshooting with Ethernet IP communications, programmable logic controllers, and robotics programming. Candidates must have at least 4 years of combined experience and education and be able to provide documentation showing that they have the required experience and training. If you possess strong computer skills, experience with microcontroller programming, machine vision applications, commissioning, troubleshooting, or computerized maintenance management systems, join the team at FCA by going to careers.fcagroup.com. That's careers.fcagroup.com. This message is brought to you by SEMCA and Michigan Works on behalf of FCA, an equal opportunity employer.
Yo, Mom, I know how you can afford my new skateboard.
And how's that?
SVS Vision has this thing called Kids See Free. When you buy a complete pair of glasses for yourself, SVS Vision will give me a free pair, which means you'll have money for the finer things in life, like
Another skateboard? And who's gonna pay for another ER visit?
Come on, Mom, that only happened like 5 times.
Kids see free at SVS Vision. Get the details at svsvision.com.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TrackPhone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TrackPhone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control.
See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Now that we're getting back on the road, The stops we make seem more special than before. Stop to see a friend. Stop at your favorite store. Stop at the places you missed most. And to keep you going between those stops, there's Shell. Stopping to fill up with our best fuel ever. Save with the Fuel Rewards program. And to get snacks and essentials that can save you even more at the pump. That's just a few of the ways Shell helps you make the most of the stop you need to make. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
School goes on.
And Staples has everything to start the year right.
From notebooks to sanitizer, laptops to masks.
And all at amazing prices. This week at Staples, the TI-84 Plus graphic calculator is only $88 and saves $60 on the color edition. Now just $99.99.
Shop in store or pick up curbside.
School on, save on at Staples.
Ends 8/15 while supplies last. Valid in store only on select SKUs. Colors vary. Limit 2. Curbside available in most stores.
From muscle pain, body aches, to strains, Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis. It works fast and you won't stink. Its unique formula with emu oil penetrates deep to relieve arthritis pain, sore muscles, joints, and more.
Wendy's introduces the new Wendy's Frosty Chino for just $1 all day. It's a Wendy's cold brewed coffee swirled with a legendary Frosty. Try one today for just $1. How would you like to win a Wendy's meal plus a Frosty Chino? You could if you text Wendy's to 20357 now. Text and data rates apply.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 D Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
All right, 619 on 96. Boy, this day's really going great so far. Last night, Stanley Cup playoffs. Flames, Canucks, Leafs, Preds, and Islanders all win. The Canucks, Leafs, and Preds series tied at 1. Flames and the Islanders lead their series 2-0. Actually, the Flames lead 2-1. And one series is over. The Carolina Hurricanes sweep the New York Rangers 3-0, which means the Rangers could be the team that has the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, and that wasn't an upset by any means. Carolina's like the 6th seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 versus 13.
And then the Flames, they were having a great season that people don't remember, so not a shocker at all that they're up.
And in basketball, the big news probably is with the 8th seed Memphis Grizzlies, as Michigan State's own Jaren Jackson Jr. tears a meniscus. He's done for the year, so they probably won't make the playoffs. I know. You wait all this time and then you get break. That just sucks. All right. What's up, Heather?
Well, you guys, I'm going to start my news, talk a little bit more about Jamie. So we all know that he made a huge impact on everyone. I mean, we've had so many people call in who've never met him, but said that they were so impacted by him, and they've been sharing their favorite memories of Jamie. And even Seth Meyers took the time to celebrate Jamie's life. This is pretty cool. He wrote a very short tribute in the Detroit News, and Meyers actually reminisced about meeting Jamie back in college. He said that they bonded over sports, and he went on to say basically what everyone else is saying, that Jamie was a man that you could look up to. He showed patience, empathy, and was always consistent. And he ended his tribute by saying that he will really miss him.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Jamie was 2 years older than Seth as far in the fraternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Seth says he was a freshman and Jamie was a senior.
Oh, wow.
When they met. And it's brief. Take time, go read it, of course. It's pretty cool that a celebrity like that would take the time to do this.
Well, they were somewhat friends. Cool. I mean, he was on our show once, and when Northwestern went to the NCAA basketball tournament, I think, or it was with the Big Ten championship football. One of those, he came on, and I know. And there's a picture. Jamie and Christy went to New York one of the last times they were there, and they went.
Right, that was just last year.
Yeah, they were there at Seth Meyers' show.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Very, very cool.
You know, and what he said, it's just a consistency of Jamie, you know, throughout his life. And I didn't notice that, like, all the time. You know, I think it was maybe just the day-to-day interactions. But I know sometimes he would express a frustration to me about certain things with the show. And now I kind of realize it's because he was the way he was all the time, and he couldn't understand why some people would make things so difficult.
Probably most of the time.
No, none of that.
Oh.
What I just said was about you. I mean, that's a whole different category for another day. We love you, Stoney.
All right, you guys, let's talk about what's going on in Beirut. I'm sure everyone has seen this massive explosion that just rocked Beirut yesterday. I mean, it basically flattened almost all of the city's port. It damaged buildings across the capital. And, of course, what we've all seen is it sent this gigantic mushroom cloud into the sky. At this point, they say at least 100 people have been killed, 4,000 injured. Officials are saying that bodies are buried under the rubble. And they say that this blast actually struck with the force of a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. And it was heard and felt as far away as 180 miles across the Mediterranean, which is wild. Right now, they're calling the whole area a disaster zone. I mean, if you've seen the photos, you understand why. Hospitals have been filled beyond capacity. They're pleading for blood supplies and generators just to keep the lights on. And it's believed that this blast was actually caused by the detonation of more than 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate that had been stored in this warehouse at the dock for the past 6 years. And I guess this ammonium nitrate had actually been confiscated from a cargo ship and just stored in a warehouse. And it's very, very explosive.
Yeah, this video, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's unbelievable. I don't think I've ever really seen something like an explosion like this.
Did you see the video somebody had as they were driving? That was unbelievable.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
You see the video, and then you see the guy's car, from inside the car, the rear view mirrors kind of gets tilted and kind of goes nuts. So they have officially ruled out any bombing attack.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. You know, if this was a terrorist attack, this would be all over the place.
Right.
The same, a major explosion happened, and it's killed hundreds. Probably going to go up significantly.
For sure.
4,000 hurt. Like Heather said, this is still a big deal.
Yes.
And they're going to probably have a humanitarian crisis here bordering. That country's in economic crisis right now.
Right,
And that was before this.
Yes.
So, you know, they're going to need help. And with COVID going on and all the garbage news sometimes that we get presented, I just hope this doesn't get lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of people there that are going to need a lot of help.
Right, and
without a doubt.
there are a lot of Lebanese, people from Lebanon descent lives in this area as well. So,
Yeah.
Hopefully your families are not affected.
So 6 months after former MSU gymnastics coach Kathy Klages was convicted of lying to police about what she knew about Larry Nassar's sexual abuse and when she knew it, a judge just sentenced her to 90 days in jail and 18 months probation. Now, her lawyer is arguing that, hey, she is at risk of contracting COVID-19 due to her age and some other risk factors, and she shouldn't be going to jail. Her lawyer says that she will be appealing this sentence. But I guess during the sentencing, Klages actually told the judge that she didn't remember being told about Nassar's assaults back in 1997, which is when 2 gymnasts said that they told her. She says, again, that she learned about it in a newspaper report in 2016, and she has no memory of anyone ever telling her about it earlier.
I don't buy it, and I wouldn't complain about a 90-day sentence.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I guess if there is a legitimate COVID risk for her versus other people, that it could be delayed until the COVID threat goes down. I'm not against that, but it should probably be about 690 days.
I know.
Whatever. These people are all getting off light. Lana Simon and all that, and where's John Engler these days? It's just, it always goes this way.
I know.
Yeah, and she won't serve all of those 90 days. You're probably, anyway, they never do. They never serve a full sentence. But yeah, I thought the same thing, that was a very, very light sentence for sure. Okay, you guys, listen to this. It's a Florida man story. A Florida man, he went out one day and he bought a Porsche, okay? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that? And then the next day, he went to go buy several Rolex watches. Another pretty sweet thing. If I had the money to do that, I'd want to go do that too. But after he attempted to buy these Rolex watches, he was taken into custody.
Why?
And it turns out that this guy made these purchases with fake checks that he printed from his home computer.
You think about that. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more.
I mean, eventually you're going to get caught. I mean, no, that's the thing. I think that's something you can get away with immediately.
Right.
You
It's
keep
not
doing
on
it.
huge purchases. I mean, I can see you getting away with it on something very small, but to go and buy a very expensive car and very expensive watches, pretty big red flag. But what's crazy is that at that dealership, after he bought the car, they didn't try cashing that check before they gave him the keys. So that's how he was busted. He took the car, drove away, and then the dealership went to go cash the check and realized, whoa, this is fake, and they reported the vehicle as stolen. And that's how he ended up being busted, so pretty crazy.
I mean, the paper trail's still on him. I'm sure he had to give his address, he had to give his ID, you know? I mean, we're so dumb.
Criminals are stupid. They never get away with it.
But he must have made it look pretty good.
Yeah.
To pass off right away. I mean, to walk out of there with the car,
Right.
it had to have looked and felt like, I mean, he must have had the right paper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hard to do.
Unless it was a cashier's, no. But
it's so easy now with technology to make your exact check.
Yes, absolutely.
But what's going to be wrong is the routing number and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Completely fake. Listen to this. This is a pretty crazy story as well. So a man who was believed to have been murdered 5 years ago in the UK has just been found alive. He's basically been hiding out by himself in the woods all of these years. This guy's 35 years old. He was last seen in 2015. Okay? And at the time, police actually decided to launch this murder investigation. There were all these reports coming in saying that he was confronted by this crime gang. But then that theory just kind of started to deteriorate after people were saying, hey, this guy's posting selfies on a secret Facebook account. So they knew he wasn't murdered, okay, but they didn't know where he was. And they finally just found him on July 1st, basically hiding out in the woods, well concealed. They say he deliberately was hidden, and he hasn't spoken with anyone that whole time.
So what did he do for, like, did he just, like, put on disguises to go into supermarkets for food or whatever?
I don't know. They didn't go into detail. Maybe he was hunting his own food out in the wild, Stoney. I have no clue how he survived, but he did, and now obviously they're looking into why he did that. He did say that he was being targeted and exploited, so they're looking into why he had to go hide in the woods.
We're talking about all that, and he has to post a selfie.
I know.
Talk about going off the grid. Well, maybe somebody did it because somebody who knew what he was doing and just wanted to every once in a while show he was alive.
Now, if Stoney would do this, he could pull it off and he'd get away with it. He'd have disguises. They already revealed that. But there would be, like, at some point, some major sporting event would happen and he'd tweet something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then they get the ping off the cell and locate him.
Either that or there'd be some obscure transaction.
Yeah.
Some guy, John Abraham, hired. All right, thank you, Heather. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797, which is also the Ticket Text number. We will take your calls. I want to talk about our buddy Jamie as well. Michigan high school football, should they follow the path of Illinois? 97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Mortgage rates are at an all-time low, and now is the time to refinance. Giving our clients 5-star service is our #1 priority. Call 248-308-5000 or chat with us online, davidhallmortgage.com.
Helping those who need it most while building a better future. That's what Michiganders do. And it's what DTE is doing today. Giving 2 million masks to frontline workers and 600,000 to small businesses. Providing tablets and internet access so 51,000 school children can learn at home. And helping over 500,000 families across the state with food and shelter. Because for Michigan, we're always all in. DTE. DTE is taking big steps today that will power Michigan's economy for years to come. As one of the largest investors in the state, we'll spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, building critical infrastructure to provide cleaner, safer, and more reliable energy, while creating thousands of new jobs across the state, improving the lives of Michiganders today, while continuing to build a stronger tomorrow. DTE.
I filled this pickup at BP with Amoco Ultimate. We'll go up to 25 miles further per tank on the highway
budget. There's no subscription required ever. Keep what you want and send back anything you don't. So, isn't it time you got it all together? Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix. Personal styling for men, women, and kids. Stitch Fix. Personal styling for everybody.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out. No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable. But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms. Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Pacuro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbthealth.com.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by the LaFontaine Automotive Group, the family deal.
I go and instead of putting on my headphones, I put on my freaking mask. And Greg's there, talk, their mask. Oh, Lord.
That's great. Yeah, we're coming out of break and Stoney's putting his mask on.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be a rough day today. We're all just got our trying to get our bearings back. I got a kink in my neck. It's just all messed up.
By the way, I want to say thanks to Dave, the guy who runs Mr. Joe's, which opened on Monday. And there's been a running bit for years about myself and the pickles that they provided at Mr. Joe's. Where you get a burger, they'd have a little tray with onions and pickles, whatever. And I've been accused, rightfully so, of going in there with my fingers. It's kind of disgusting, but taking pickles and just eating them and putting them on my plate. So, and we've talked about it on the air a few times.
The pickle canister.
To say the least, yeah, the pickle canister. So I went yesterday. They reopened on Monday, social distance. And funny, it's the bar area. They have plexiglass, and it almost looks like a hockey rink. So I ordered my lunch, just a cheeseburger and whatever. And the waitress comes, and she goes, "We provided you with," and I sent these guys a picture. It was like a big cup of just pickles, so you can use your fingers in your own individual pickles. That was very funny.
That's awesome. Yeah,
That's nice.
That picture was funny.
So, we need a little fun around here. Telephone number 248-539-9797. Illinois, the great state of Illinois, their high school football association has announced that they will be playing high school football, hopefully, in the spring. Michigan has not made a determination of what they're going to do yet. They're going to decide shortly. I mean, practices are supposed to begin, I don't know, in like August 17th. Well, they've been working out anyway, but no contact. Pads possibly by August 20th is what they're trying to do. And the question I have is, if college football, and still, the Power of 5 conferences have not canceled anything, but a lot of the small schools have. If they're canceling football, and as much as I want to see high school football, I don't see how they can have high school football right now. I really don't, because there's no bubbles, obviously. I mean, some schools where you're not even going into the school, so you're staying at home, you're going to go to practice. Who knows, going from back and forth. I mean, it sucks. Believe me, if you're a high school senior, your last year, and if you can't get to play, and all the camaraderie that build up, and a lot of people, even the underclassmen who want to get their, stuff on tape so they can get scholarship offers.
Oh, I know. We have a district. He's a quarterback. I know him. Know his family. His family goes to our church. That is got some potential as a prospect. He's being recruited by some big schools. He was going to probably have to have a pretty good senior year, you know, but who knows what's going to happen. If it gets moved to spring, it would still be fine for him, but I know some of the bigger recruits would probably back out at that point.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of the bigger recruits, especially the ones who have signed, they'll be at school already. They enroll in January. A lot of them, they've already canceled the Battle of the Big House, where they bring in high schools from all over the state to play at the University of Michigan. They've canceled the Detroit, the area prep kickoff classic at Wayne State. That's already been canceled. You know, I talked to somebody. I said, "What's your gut feeling?" And he says it's not very good, not very positive.
Well, I think the responsible thing to do here, and I've been very vocal of the fact that I think schools should reopen, or at least it should be by district, because population and all that's very different. You can't compare where I live to Detroit or Royal Oak. I think they really need to, at least for now, back up the season a little bit. If you can't go to school, you shouldn't play football.
Correct.
I just think that's common sense. So see if you can get the school open. You know, even if you're only doing half capacity, see what it looks like for a couple of weeks. Let's back up the start of the season to the last Friday in September, and then from there, you're playing you might be the week before Christmas might be the state championship.
Correct. Big deal. Not everybody gets to go.
And if that doesn't work, then you go to the spring.
Correct. But the problem with the spring, as we know, is there are a lot of kids who still not the superstars, that they play three sports. They'll play football, they'll play basketball, they'll play baseball, or lacrosse. A lot of the crossover sports. They're going to have to make choices, and that's a shame. And the whole deal with getting enough officials. I agree. You have to, change.
Is making a choice better than what happened last spring? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you have a future in a sport, you play that sport. If you don't have a future, you play your favorites.
Right. Exactly.
To me, again, it's very simple.
We're the one that your friends are with.
Yeah.
You want to have a good time.
We're all sacrificing here, and this thing that is just scaring me now, and I'm starting to change my tone a little bit, is these high school graduation party breakouts that we've seen in South Lyon and Fenton.
Yeah.
And then I saw Saturday when we were coming home from being out 2 graduation parties that were huge. I just don't get it, And so these kids it's being spread by these kids at these large gatherings, and I'm like, well, okay, you just can't trust high school kids.
No.
You can't.
I'm not blaming them. It's just the way it is. You don't think that much. Sometimes you got to blame the parents for even having them, number one, or letting your kids go to these things.
But you got to, too, let your kids at some point do some things during this. And I think most people thought, we're outside. Not a big deal. But the social distancing and the mask thing, when you're in a large group, the parties on the lakes, they've all proved that it can spread outside.
Correct.
When you have a huge amount of people. I mean, there's going to be it's going to be super limited fans if they do have high school football. Probably parents only, social distance in the bleachers, spread out on tracks maybe,
I might not even need PA.
But I do want to know, if your son right now plays high school football, do you want them to play?
Right, 248-539-9797, or even any fall sports, but we're focusing on football because there's more interplay. Players are closer together. 248-539-9797. Are you going to make that decision, or are you going to let your kid make the decision? I would assume you're going to make the decision. You're a parent, but if you're a kid, you want that opportunity to play. I mean, especially in schools where you have really good programs, and you think you can go far. I mean, kids have been playing together, in some communities since they were, 6, 7 years old. That's why some districts have really good programs in every sport, because they start with these little programs when the kids are really young, which is great. And then they build up, and it would be horrible. But it's all about safety, and there are people still who don't believe, that it's not that everybody knows it's real. But the fact that young kids, because they're healthy, they might get it. All right, but they'll recover in a week, 2 weeks, whatever. But it's not about that. If your schools are open and you get COVID from whatever, whether it's playing football or not, and then you go into school and you have an elder teacher. I mean, that's how things get passed. And I just have a bad feeling about almost all football right now. And I'm starting even to think the NFL, I'm not even so, I was 100% confident they were going to get going. My confidence level's down a little bit to like 80. College football, I think they're in trouble as well. I mean, when you had the letter that was posted on Instagram by the Indiana player.
I saw that.
Got a heart problem, very similar to Rodriguez and the Boston Red Sox. You know, all of a sudden you get COVID, and all of a sudden you have heart ailments. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the long term, we don't know the long term effects of this disease for some people. And think about it. Yeah, so I think, what was it, Indiana, 27 players or something like that have had it.
Mm-hmm.
Just one got it bad,
yes.
And now he has an effect from it, maybe potentially long term.
Right.
And it's easy to say, well, if you're the kid, you know, a parent of the kid that was asymptomatic, but it only takes the one to make it a crisis.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Stoney. I believe the NFL will happen. I think we may have a shortened season. Despite the reckless behavior in baseball by some of these players, baseball is continuing.
I know.
I think they're going to make it.
Probably, unless they have a few more outbreaks. But I still think, you know, you have enough people on taxi squads and people in the minor league complexes that they'll be able to do it.
I just hope these teams in the NFL are telling their players and the staff, look what's happening in baseball. You can't do anything.
Yeah. 248-539-9797. We'll take your phone calls, text. This is 97.1 The Ticket. You want to get away, relax, and just simply have a good time, get to the D Las Vegas for everything you need. The D taking all the necessary precautions to make sure you stay as safe, enjoy all the comforts of a high-end Las Vegas hotel. I got a text from Derek Stevens the other day, passing on condolences from everybody at the D and his personal condolences to Jamie's family and the family here at 97.1 The Ticket. He was a big fan, Derek was, of Jamie, and of course we used to go out there. We had a great time. When you go out there, really good food. Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse is there. You got American Coney Island. And if you want to play golf, the folks at the D will set you up. Great golf courses in Las Vegas. Go to thed.com, book a room today. Definitely affordable. Thed.com, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Comcast Business. On the Southfield Freeway, M39 southbound just after McNichols, an accident leaves only the central lane open. So far, there's a little bit of a delay behind it. Today, businesses are starting to bounce back. But what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt and find new ways to succeed with new customers? Well, Comcast Business wants to help you do just that. Learn how you can not just bounce back, but bounce forward at ComcastBusiness.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Hall Financial. Go to DavidHallMortgage.com.
Former science with the Radio.com Sports Minute. The NFL revealed disciplinary actions that players face if they shun the league's COVID-19 safety protocols. According to USA Today, players who refuse to be tested will first receive a warning letter followed by progressive fines up to $50,000. Players who fail to wear masks, practice social distancing, or wear proximity trackers will be issued written warnings followed by progressive fines of up to $14,650. Furthermore, players are also liable to be fined or suspended for action detrimental to a team should they attend a concert, indoor entertainment event, or bar and nightclub where more than 10 people are present and they're not wearing masks. Hopefully the players will have learned from baseball's experience as well as from words of caution from athletes who've contracted coronavirus. If not, they can now ponder the toll misbehaving could take on their wallets. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years.